Do you have a hypothesis as to what you'll find in the form of a crashed UFO?
Well, it would be nice to find a flying saucer.
The information density of your channel is drinking from a fire hose of mind-blowing facts.
The golden age of Army R&D has a lot of really interesting research we can parallel today and talk about later, but during this time, the Foreign Technology Division was trying to use recovered technology to use human brain waves to guide ICBM missiles.
Whoa.
Jesse Michels with UAP Gerb. All right, these jokers are good times. Jesse Michels is not exactly Corbell Camp. Kind of starts in the Corbell camps and then maybe blazes his own little trail off to the side. This is a great interview. UAP Gerb. About 2.5 hours. They are not joking about the fire hose. UAP Gerb is a fire hose of UFO and aliens stuff. And just anytime you see him anywhere, he's just like that. So this is 2.5 hours of drinking from the fire hose. They're just kind of chatting about everything. And everything's probably not even correct. But we got whistleblowers. We got Michael Herrera. Military and intelligence connections. Psionics. Corso. FFRGCs. Deep underground military bases. Stephen Greer. Bob Lazar and S4. Battelle and UFO research. The Hallman Air Force base footage. The Sandler connection. Whistleblowers, hidden technologies, the role of Dick Cheney, alien reproduction vehicles, early UFO crashes, the reality of reverse engineering, what he's going to do from there. I'm kind of sitting in on these two ridiculous high-level UFO nerds just kind of going at it. It's almost gross. I mean, they go into a rabbit hole here talking about Doc Brown from Back to the Future being kind of like a caricature of a real human. And really this whole segment about Dick Cheney is them hooking a lot of the Spielberg stuff, E.T., to UFO disclosure. It's a fun watch. They're talking about everything and everything UFO related. UAP Gerb is probably Corbell camper, but he is definitely like a nuts and bolts kind of guy. All these topics that we just talked about, you would find several hours about each one of them, with him kind of like walking you through the specifics of the details of each topic. So just if there's anything about anything in this episode that's kind of grabs your interest at all, you can definitely go to his YouTube channel and get another couple hours at a minimum, but probably more than a couple hours. You probably get 3 or 4 episodes, which is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and you'll get the whole story. There's things that he'll say, like, I think this is nonsense, so I'm not going to spend any time on it. But then he doesn't spend any time on it. He doesn't spend any time trying to convince you that it's nonsense. He just, boom, kind of kicks it out and moves on with all the things that he thinks are, significant, worth talking about, worth putting the research into, and then making a video about. So that's kind of the only thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's not really even a criticism. It's just a kind of description of what you get from the guy. You get a lot of info about anything and everything UFO related. and anything that he thinks is just kind of like not worthy, he just doesn't spend any time on. He doesn't spend any time trying to convince you that of why he doesn't think it's worthy either. He just goes with it. The other Jesse Michels interview is Beatriz Villarroel.
There are like, there's a taxonomy. There are like different descriptions of crafts. You have flying saucers, you have orbs, you have jellyfish is actually mentioned in this document. Do you believe in kind of a variety of things, or do you think the flying saucer is the main thing, or what do you think?
Well, my guess is that there would be a variety of things, but I first would like to get confirmed a single object.
A much shorter interview. She has worked on a lot of stuff, and so it might be a lot more fun to watch and listen to because she's the actual person doing the stuff. So all of the UFO and alien topics that they go through here, astronomy, Halton Arc, UAPs, Baltic Sea anomaly, the search for vanishing stars, historical context of UFOs, the villainous legacy of Don Menzel, contrasting views on UFOs, JFK secrecy, exoprobe, the future of exploration, defining UAP and UFO, challenges in the scientific community, the pursuit of truth, European crash retrieval initiative, the quest for proof, supporting the search for answers. So all of those topics are just kind of like scientific endeavors that she's actually been involved on. Jesse Michels makes a pretty in-depth X post kind of explaining, kind of summarizing each one of those topics for this episode when he released it. So she's worked on a lot of stuff. Kind of starts with her noticing U.S. Navy astronomical reports that observations of a particular part of the sky show a group of stars blinking in and out and go missing. And so that gets her interest, and she starts looking into it in depth, and that turns into everything else that they go through. The Twitter post is kind of useful. It's because it kind of walks you through all of the different summaries of the scientific projects that she's been working on. The probably coolest part so this part in here about exoprobe, the future of exploration. So that's where she really gets into kind of what she's working on right now, like her very next project, where they've kind of added up all these other things that she's been working on. The disappearing stars, the UAP reporting, and then the debris fields, or what they've hypothesized to be debris fields of stuff hitting the planet, whether they're flying saucers, meteorites, cosmic rays, asteroids with bacteria on it, and just kind of start gritting through all of that stuff. It's not Project Galileo, but it's very similar. It's like a European version, I guess. So this is, kind of a quick listen, especially for Jesse stuff. It's a fun and kind of quick interview, and it's firmly in the nuts and bolts category. There's a couple topics in here, contrasting views on UFOs, but then there's also something like challenges in the scientific community. And I think she kind of goes through like the usual sexism, dogma, partisanship. So that's kind of the reasons that she gives for kind of switching around disciplines. Not that it matters though. So like I said, fun, watch classic ufology. I don't know, if you find someone out there like Lou Reviews throwing a fit about the production. Even when he points it out, like that's the only time I ever notice it. I'm not like a guy from the industry or anything though, but not the best criticisms. Where the root of his criticism ends up at or comes from is that Jesse Michels is well funded, and so that money's being Lou's criticism ends up being that money's kind of being wasted because he's so well funded, and then they make these real kind of basic production errors, which I've never noticed one until he shows me. So I mean, I guess that's a way that you could criticize this particular episode maybe, but I don't see anything else. It's just an interview with like a UFO scientist lady. She wants to find a flying saucer. Like, who doesn't?